Now, I would actually welcome any legislation being brought forward that keeps the police and the security services focused on the real problem of terrorism and serious crime, rather than they're wasting time and our money monitoring Green campaigners, anti-fracking protesters, journalists and elected politicians. The government's manifesto said they will consider what new offences or aggravated offences that might be needed. But I would recommend to your Lordship's House that we block any legislation that doesn't include a clear definition of what an extremist is. Some noble lords may be aware that I was on the domestic extremist database for more than 10 years. At the time, I was an elected politician. I was on the oversight body for the Met Police Authority. I was successfully working with the police on all sorts of issues, including road crime, FGM, and protecting their wildlife crime unit. The wildlife crime unit is about things like imports of exotic, threatened, endangered species rather than naughty squirrels, just to be clear. Now, it's likely that my personal emails were hacked by police officers, and the Independent Police Complaints Commission is currently investigating the reasons for the hasty destruction of my file and the evidence of any hacking that it might have contained. A file destroyed despite the Met Commissioners specifically ordering that such files should not be deleted. Now, there's also a proposal for a commission on extremism. Now, the independent reviewer of terrorism, Max Hill QC, has said we do not need new laws to tackle the current terrorist threat. We need to use the laws we have and resource the agencies responsible for upholding them. And yet, despite this, the government appears to be keen to legislate. And not for terrorism, but for what it calls non-violent extremism. So the new statutory commission for countering extremism will identify examples of extremism and expose them. The simple fact is, it's impossible at the moment to agree a definition of what constitutes an extremist. A terrorist, yes. An extremist, no. One person's non-violent extremist is another person's political hero. We have to be very, very careful with these terms. The Met Police currently uses a very clear definition of a domestic extremist, which restricts it to those involved in terrorism or serious crime. But they regard this as guidance only, which means they can use it or not use it as they please. And of course, they please to use it on people like me.